Never had a mentor, only one Scarface. I met her at a club, she twerk better when her heart breaks. Hey, hood, wanna everything that I get. I'm praying for a Bentley and to never go to jail. I'm fresh up out the gutter, I don't know if you can tell. I'm hustling for everything I do for legacy. You can call me any type of day, my dog, I never sleep. The only rule I got is if we don't embarrass me. I write down my problems, then record it just for therapy. Just for clarity, old clubs selling out of here to doing stadiums. Gold diggers don't come around, they don't survive my radius. I keep it too real for real, and that's what made me rich. That's what made me rich. Hustling, that's what made me rich. Old clubs selling out of here to doing stadiums. Small business don't come around, they don't survive my radius. All I talk about, and that's what really made me rich. Hustling, that's what made me rich. That's what made me rich. The whole club.
Run it back.
Run it back, 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 run it back. Lost everything I ever wanted it back. Got a problem, never run from that. Have fun with that. Get the W, then double back. That. Watch how I react. Fight back, stay down. Now we taking.
On the banks of the St. Johns River, there's a good look inside Everbank Stadium here in downtown Jacksonville. Tonight we wrap up the first 13 weeks of the season, and we got a good Monday nighter in store, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway on a Monday night. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. And now Herbert a little unsure of things, so he's going to go ahead and call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From the 31, here's 2nd down and 2. Herbert now. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And out across midfield down to the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. The Jaguars at 7-4 on the year, and they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. Like this one.
A quick slant, good for 8 and a first. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Tackle there by Jerry Tillery. You talk about this Bengals defense. Now, they've been dreadful against the run. No getting around at number 32, dead last in the NFL.
Stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out. Being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And the Bengals force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And it pushes way forward to about the 32. Ernest Jones there for the tackle. Well, this defense for the Jags, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
That's a good look, and he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Mahomes going to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
Stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary, partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get them the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road, you're under the lights, national television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real, and a pretty nice opening statement.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Their second drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there the last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They're going to go toss right side with Eckler. And he'll be taken down at about the 45. You talk about this Bengals defense. Now, they've been dreadful against the run. No getting around at number 32, dead last in the NFL. One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Herbert on 1st down now. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL. Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football, as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. From the gun, a give to Penny. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try to run forward, Penny. Oh, what a move. Breaks the tackle, now Allen. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Jaguars. Rashawn Penny, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. From his end zone is Byron Pringle. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Bengals drive about to get going. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Von Bell. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there. I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled. After the turnover, here's Herbert. This will be caught inside the 10. And they got it inside the 10 at the 8. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen. No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Play action. It's Herbert escaping the pressure right. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points are given away and could cost them a ball game?
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football.
Taking it right down Broadway. Now he breaks free in the middle of the field. Kadarius Toney, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Kadarius Toney, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are once again back in front.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. Oh, good return up past the 30. Past midfield. Still going. One man to beat. And he will score. Touchdown.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields it in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. And you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
Rosales good with the extra point. The lead is now 14-10. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. From the end zone, here's Pringle. And he returns this to the 22. We got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. The Bengals drive about to get going. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. They'll set up the screen for Hall. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a third down.
I like the play call coming right after a tackle for a loss because this is an obvious passing situation, but instead they fooled them a little bit with the screen, and they wound up getting back what they lost and then a little bit more.
Mahomes now to throw. That is incomplete.
To stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
On 14 down. Matt Ariza sent on to punt. Pulled in at the 24. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They'll find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
On first down, Justin Herbert. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Vince Beagle. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. So the completion good for 6 yards. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Now it's Herbert. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the 2 teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. From the end zone, here's Pringle. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least 1 practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Mahomes throwing to the hands of McLaurin. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now Mahomes. This pass out wide to Hall. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss. and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
This is part of why this guy's got multiple MVPs on the mantle. We're used to seeing him make the impossible throws, but here Mahomes knows he's got nothing, so he wisely just gets rid of it.
Mahomes to throw once more. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so they're going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Terry McLaurin from 13 yards out. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you got a brand new ball game. Butker now to add the extra point. And he gets it to go, and we're all even. 17 apiece.
Ties the game at 17. Harrison Butker is set to kick off.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. And now we're going to get a stoppage as, yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Aldrich Rosas for the Jaguars field goal of 40 yards attempt.
Rosas' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. From the end zone, here's Pringle. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level. Make sure they're secure before they slide on and try to chip someone at the second level. And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
This is fielded at the 27. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Take it to the house.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. On second down, Eckler. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On first down, it's Herbert. That ball caught, Brandon Ayuk. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards. Herbert. He's got Allen. Powers through. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5.
A gain of 5 brings up second and goal at the 1-yard line.
Herbert back to the air. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Eckler will get it into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. So it's a pretty good season he's putting together running the football. That now 10 rushing touchdowns on the year.
And we know this is a passing league, and those numbers throwing the football, they seem to go up and up every year. But there's still something to have a reliable back you can count on in the red zone to bring things home for you. And that's what he's been doing all season long.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Pringle going to stay in the end zone, and this will come out to the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly.
There he goes, right side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. A gain of just 1.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
On second down, here's Mahomes. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. A give running right is Hall. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 48 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's second down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Jaguars' 8-yard line.
On second down, a run with Hall. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone. It's incomplete.
It's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. No one left in the backfield as they send a man left. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. They only get a hard-fought yard, but that's all they needed. It pays off the decision to go for it, 1st and goal.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after getting this deep into their territory.
And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't even look like they hesitated there. They knew they wanted to go for it.
That tells me that during the week, they were thinking about these situations, and they feel like maybe they're just the better team, and they want to go ahead and prove it conclusively.
And a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
They'll try to run with Hall, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. So a little extra time to ponder this third and goal as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Here's Mahomes to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Josiah DeGuara from 4 yards out. And the Bengals have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Harrison Butker set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Up from his safety spot to charge in and make the play, Landon Collins. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
It's a gain of 4, but they're still looking up here at a tough 3rd and 11. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Still going inside the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. Brandon Ayuk, 79 yards. And the Jags use the big play to extend their fourth quarter lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with it. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm the defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
From the end zone, here's Pringle. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bengals drive about to get going. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And here's a good way to kick off a drive complete over the middle. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
They'll run with Hall. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Alex Highsmith simply would not be stopped on that play.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
Mahomes to throw on second down. Throw left side, pulled in by Mingo. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal. Now here's Mahomes. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Terry McLaurin, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Bengals are back within a score. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there. They went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Harrison Butker set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game here in the 4th quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or do you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at earliest opportunity or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
Here's Herbert now on 2nd down. Give him another one right back to Allen. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Herbert. He'll get this out wide with plenty. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
And that pickup on the 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating defensively. You're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Herbert now. He'll buy some time right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they do finally get him at the 12. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
They're going to pass here with Herbert. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. Rosas now to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Pringle going to stay in the end zone, and this will come out to the 25. Here's 1st and 10. Mahomes. That's going to be caught by Tony. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
A 2 timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly, a must. It's 1st and 10. Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. And he's going to get this all the way down to the 2 before he's wrestled out.
Oh, man, disappointment that he couldn't finish that off in the end zone. What an effort there, doing all he can to get to the pylon, and he's going to wind up out of bounds just short. But a huge play there, going to set him up with 1st and goal from very short range.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle. So they're...
And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Extra point by Butker is on target. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So still a little over 40 seconds to go. Time enough to put a drive together if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the Jaguars. And that should just about do it. Now, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
Well, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring,